Hi, this is Goldie with Low Vision Chef. Today we're going to make a salad, a very healthy salad, with corn and tomatoes and basil and a few other ingredients. And I'm going to start with it. I've got a little head start because I needed to heat in the frying pan and cook for 5 minutes my diced up sweet Vidalia onions. And then after I finished that, I added my corn, and that needed to saute on a medium heat for about 8 more minutes until we get a nice little roast on those. Then after that, it's supposed to cool down a little bit because this salad is going to be served lukewarm, and we don't want to cook the remaining ingredients we add to that. Don't want to turn the corn brown, so I'm going to take it off the heat and let it cool down just a little bit. Okay, then after that, I'm going to take a lime, and if you remember how I showed you before in the videos to do the limes, you do it with the method where you take the knife and come to the end of it, go up, find the middle, and then come down. And I'm using a lettuce knife, which diabetics or people who aren't supposed to use sharp objects gives them more control to cut through the knife because you're using your own pressure and going forward with the sawing motion. I use a serrated knife myself a lot. Sometimes they're a little bit more dangerous. It just really depends upon your own comfort. And right over here in my cut bowl, I'm going to put my lime. I'm just going to squeeze it. It calls for 1 tablespoon of lime juice, but to each his own. A little bit more, a little bit less. This is a really small lime, and I think I'll probably just get about a tablespoon out of it. So I'll put my lime juice in my prep bowl. Okay, and that's actually going to act as your salad dressing. Then after that, I have basil. I'm going to take my basil, and it calls for 1/3 cup. I'm not going to use a cup to measure. I'm just going to tear a few pinches of fresh basil in there. This is baby basil, and I'm just going to tear that into small pieces. It's already small, and I'm going to give it a few more tears. Okay. I washed my basil, and I'm just going to take my paper towel and give it a shake, make sure I get it all out of there. Okay, now I can use that to wipe my hands off on. Dual purpose. I love a multitasker. Okay, then next I have tomatoes, which I've already pre-cut, but I just want to show you again how to do tomatoes. I love grape tomatoes. They're nice and sweet. Again, you find the end, you come up, go between your fingers. You know where your fingers are at to pinch them. And because you have control with the lettuce knife, and you just saw on through. Again, saw on through. Okay, now I prefer to use a regular knife, but I'm comfortable with that. But I just wanted to show you that in case you're not comfortable with the regular knife. You might want to use, if you have diabetes or something, you might want to use, for safety's sake, you might want to use that knife. Okay, and then I'm just going to dump my tomatoes in that I pre-cut. That calls for about 1 cup of tomatoes diced. Okay, then after that, cumin. That's a part of the sauce for this salad also. Just 1/4 teaspoon. Okay, and that drops out in 1/4 teaspoon. And we'll get rid of that so I don't double do it. Okay, then it just calls for 1/8 of a teaspoon of pepper. I like fresh ground pepper. So I'm going to just grind that into my hand until I have about 1/8 of a teaspoon. Squeezing the bunny ears. And again, I need 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Punch 1 time, and I've got it. And I'm going to give that a mix. Get my measuring teaspoons here. And in case I forget what's what, I remember that green is green. But I have right up here a sign made for myself. And I know that he's at a funny angle and I can't pick that up. But I have a reminder for the spoons and my measuring cups with the multiple colors because I can't see to read them. So I have the designated colors down here right at eye level. I see things better right at eye level if I do have to read something. But I honestly try not to have to read things because I don't have any central vision. And then my sugar. Then push that off. Right in my brightly colored bowl. Give it a little swirl. Let those items dissolve together. Now I'm ready for my corn. And hopefully it's cooled down enough. I usually would let it cool down just a little bit more. But today I'm going to put this in here. I'll just set it up on the edge. And a good spatula will get every last drop right in it. I'm also using a guard so that my handle, this is one of my older pans, been around for probably about 10-12 years with me. And I'm using a guard, one of the Trudeau guards on the pan handle so that it isn't hot at all. And that just pops right off when I'm done too. I'll mix that up. Of course, you can add more or less. You can leave out the cayenne pepper if you want that I put in there. If you don't like spicy food, you can always add some jalapeno peppers if you like it more spicy. You can give and take, add and subtract anything you want it to make it taste the way you want. But this is a wonderful lukewarm summer salad. It goes great with a variety of things. It has an Italian twist to it with the basil, but sometimes I substitute some cilantro in there and give it a little bit of a Hispanic twist. Anyway, I hope that's a nice recipe for you. It's really super easy, and we enjoy it around our house, especially during tomato seasons. And tomatoes are so good for your eyes when you have low vision, and they're healthy for pretty much anything out there. Thank you, and have a good day, and you keep cooking.